Hello beautiful freaks. Today I am going to be talking about my tattoos. Something that everyone keeps asking me about to go through. I'm hopefully going to have like images of them as well that I'll insert like wherever. Because I can't really show them very well in a video, obviously. So yeah. It is one of my commonly asked questions is what tattoos I have, where did I get them done, when did I get them done. So I thought I'd just start a video about it. I'm not, by no means done with all my tattoos because I do want to get more. Pretty much every tattoo I have, bar like a couple, need finishing or touching up. And a lot of them are not good. Well, I say a lot of them. A couple of them aren't very good. But I think everyone has that. Anyway, so on my first ever tattoo, I was 17 years old. Oops. My mum is quite a cool mum, shall we say. She's a hippie goth. And she already had a couple of tattoos. I think she probably got them with my sister, because my sister's like 7 years older than me. So yeah, so she was pretty like fine about tattoos and piercings and stuff. She took me to get my like first proper piercing, whatever. I'll go through them in a different video. But yeah, so my first one was at 17. It was in our kitchen, which I do not recommend. My I guess you'd call him boyfriend. Not really a serious boyfriend, no offence if you watch this. But yeah, he was training or wanted to be a tattooist. I think he is now. Obviously I don't know if he's any good now, but at the time, we were 17. That's all I need to say about it. So yeah, he gave me my first tattoo, which was of a crow. Just the outline, from the film The Crow, the first one, because I have always loved that film, and it was something that we kind of shared an interest in, I feel like. I'm sure he liked it too. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he did it. It wasn't good. Obviously, I mean, it was done in my kitchen. It was like, obviously, everything was sterilised and everything. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was sterilised. And yeah, it was just the outline, and it was not good. So yeah, so I had that for a little while, just this stupid little outline on my arm. And then when I was 18, I went literally for my birthday. My mum took me to get my first proper tattoo, which was a cover-up of the one that he did, which is my crow. Now, this is probably my least favourite tattoo that I have. I paid £60 for it, which doesn't really sound like a lot, to be honest, because that's kind of, well, when I was, because I don't know if some of you know, but I used to be a tattooist and a piercer. When I was doing it, which was quite a few years ago now, our minimum charge was £60 for like an hour, basically. I don't know if it's still the same now, to be honest, because I only go to really good like portrait artists and stuff, obviously Gareth, and obviously if you want a good artist to spend time on you, it's usually for a day, and it costs money because it's their art, it's their time that you're paying for. So yeah, so £60 for it, to be honest now, doesn't seem like a lot, but it isn't great. I'm not proud of it. I absolutely hate it. I went in, he basically saw that I had this little crow on my arm already, and I don't even think you can see it now because he kind of shaded it, but he did the same outline but bigger, and he did this freehand, in a reputable, in fact I think it was the only tattoo place in my hometown at that point. So obviously they didn't get many teenage girls going in, and when they did, they liked to just mock them basically. It was mainly like middle-aged biker men, let's just say. Because they still weren't very popular when I was 18. Like, they just weren't. Like, they are now, but like back then they just weren't. And yeah, so I wanted obviously the quote, and I wanted the quote from the Crow, which is "Victims aren't we all?" And he free-handed it, and he was doing it, and I was so worked up about how much it was going to hurt that once he started, and I realised it's not very painful at all, especially on the top of your arm. It's probably one of the least painful places to get tattooed. I was like, oh, this is fine. And I got a little bit too confident with it. So I was just chatting away and I was fine, and I didn't really pay that much attention. And then when I did, I was like, oh, I'm bleeding quite a bit. Turns out I wasn't. He just decided to add dripping blood to my tattoo. Because in one of the scenes, I can't remember, it's been a while since I've watched the film actually. As much as I love it, it has been a while. I think there is a scene where he does the Crow outline in blood or something, or in one of the films. There's a lot of Crow films. 1 and 2, like 1 is amazing. Obviously it was the last film that Brandon Lee ever did, and he is just amazing. The second one did have elements in it from the comic books, because it's obviously based on the comic books, that were missing in the first one, so I do still like the second one. But after that, all the other films are terrible. They are. So anyway, yeah, he decided to add dripping blood. Plus the fact that, yeah, he free-handed it, and I get that, but I'm not a guy. I'm not a middle-aged man. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to A, do it so boxy, and B, give me men's tattoo script on my arm. Because it's literally old school men's script that, like, was a thing back in the day. Like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you give me, like, something a bit more feminine, less square on my arm? Like, it's just awful. So yeah, that was my first proper tattoo. My friend, when I worked as a tattooist, she, bless her, she did all these clouds around it, trying to make it a bit more Tim Burton style and a bit more feminine, just to like make it a little bit less stuck on. But I hate the whole thing. I just want to get it lasered off and started again. So yeah, that was my first one. After that, I got this side done. When I was, I think I was training still as a tattooist. I'm pretty sure I was still training, and I really wanted my favourite comic book character, which is Delirium, from The Endless, and she's also in the Little Endless storybooks, which is like a kid's version of some of the characters, and my ex, Vince, actually bought me the comic. It was like a book, actually. It was a children's book about Princess Delirium, and I fell in love with the character. He was like, yeah, she's definitely you. She's got rainbow hair, she's a bit ditzy, obviously, because her name's Delirium. And yeah, I fell in love with her, and then I found out about the Endless comics, and they're very dark, very good comics, you should check them out. And yeah, so I wanted my own interpretation of her on my arm, and my boss at the time did it for me. Well, she started it, but it's obviously not finished. It needs a lot more colour. I'm probably going to get it redone, because I don't really like how she looks. Like, I don't know, I think she could be fixed, but a lot of places will not touch somebody else's started work, so it's very hard to get someone to kind of fix it and finish it, so I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to get her, and then I got my pink elephants, which I don't know if you can see, and I also got some pink bubbles to represent Lemonade, because when I was a toddler, literally a toddler, and was able to walk, I was spinning in circles to the song Dear Jessie by Madonna, and the lyrics were pink elephants and lemonade, and I was obsessed. I would literally hear it, listen to it over and over and over, and just spin in circles, which says a lot about me as a ditzy person. So yeah, I had to get those. Like, pink elephants have just been a running thing through my entire life. So I really wanted to get those. They're kind of like the ones from Dumbo, the ones that he sees when he's drunk. So I wanted to get those, and I thought they'd just go really well with the character Delirium. It was going to be a full sleeve. I didn't get it finished, obviously. I stopped working there, and I actually don't speak to the person that did this. We were really good friends, we're not anymore. I don't even speak to her or hear from her, so that's fine. So yeah, that was my next one. I believe my next one after that was my feet. I've got two girly, if you like, skulls on my feet. They're like the skull and crossbones, but they've both got bows and they're both pink. And I really wanted those. I just like the way they look. I just think they're really cute on people's feet. Like, I think I saw one girl had it on her ankle, and I was like, no, they need to go on my feet. Very painful. But I do love them. I still love them. And then after that, I might like to add that most of these, I can complain about how they look and how they've aged and how they were done. But because I was training as a tattooist, I didn't actually pay for 90% of my tattoos. So I can't really complain. Then I got my leg done, the back of my leg, like on my calf. It's kind of an ankle and calf tattoo. I've got a bird cage on my ankle, and then I've got some birds flying out of it. I've got 3 that are outside of the cage and 1 that's in it. This is it's to represent my family. The top one, they are supposed to be crows. The top one is representative of my mum, which is why she's got a star in her mouth. She's kind of showing the way, she's lighting the way. And then after that is my sister, and then me. And then the one in the cage is our sister that unfortunately passed away within a couple of weeks, to be honest, of being born. So I wanted to represent her a little bit, because I feel like we would have been really close. She would have been a couple of years older than me. And I don't know, me and my sister are really close, so I just feel like me and her would have been really close, because there's less of an age gap. Well, there would have been, sorry. So yeah, I really wanted to get that. It's not finished again. But yeah, after that I got my ribs done. I have a giant star, black star, on my rib cage. I was going to get one on both sides, because it's on this side. Yeah, it was extremely painful. So, in fact, it's not even completely finished, because at that point, again, I think I was tattooing at that time. They started to recall some of the inks, the black inks, in the UK, because of certain ingredients that were in them. They said weren't legal in the UK. I think there was lots of red tape around some of the dyes and stuff that they were using. They'd been fine before that, but for some reason, randomly, all of a sudden, it was really hard to get really good black ink. So I had to get that recoloured twice, because it just went grey. I think a lot of people kind of experienced that around the same time. Like, you got a black tattoo, it wasn't black, it was grey, and you had to get it redone. The top half is definitely grey. The bottom half is kind of black, because the top half is on my rib cage, and it hurt. Like, it really hurt. I had to tap out. It took a couple of hours, and anyone that's had their rib cage done knows it's not pleasant. It hurts because obviously it's on bone, but also it kind of obviously vibrates through your entire sternum and like your other rib cage, and it's just not a nice feeling. It really isn't. So that again is not finished, and I did chicken out of getting one on the other side. So after that I got my wrists done. I got love and music written on my wrists. Because of where they were, I did catch them, so they did bleed out a little bit. So I kind of didn't like them for that. So that's why this one is actually covered up by my Corpse Bride tattoo. This one will be covered up soon. I also got my little Fallout Boy tattoo as well, which is completely faded. And yeah, I want to get that covered up as well, because I think I'm going to get another Tim Burton style tattoo on this arm, but I haven't fully decided yet. And then the next ones that I got were my chest pieces. These ones were the ones where I started to actually pay for my tattoos. um, yeah, so this one was done first. This one was representative of a loss that I'd suffered. As some of you may know, I did suffer a miscarriage. Well, I've suffered a couple. And that's what this one's representing. I did want to get some little stars to represent the losses, but I haven't ever done that yet. And then this one, the queen on it is old school, because the artist that did these two in the same tattooist that I go to now, different artist though, he specialises in old school sort of tattoos, so he kind of did this queen for me, and she kind of reminds me of my nan, so I that's why I was like, yeah, you can, yeah, I want that. And the cards were a thing that I wanted to get. Obviously they're all queens. The first one is the Queen of Hearts, because of what it represents as a tattoo, and then next is the Queen of Diamonds. The reason I wanted to get those two on top was because the Queen of Hearts is to represent the entire tattoo, because it's it says all in. A lot of people have had this, but they get like the all aces and stuff, where it's like representative of just laying your cards down on the table and just going for it and just hoping for the best. Mine is to represent how I am in life and relationships. Like, I'm a very open book, and when I love someone I go all in, so hence why it's Queen of Hearts on top, and then Queen of Diamonds had to go second because obviously my name is Kimberly, which is after the diamond mines. So for most of my life I've been sort of represented by diamonds. I don't know. So yeah, that's why I wanted to get that one. It was very personal at the time. The relationship that I was in, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to prove a point that that is who I am as a person. You know, not just to that person, but to me as well. Like, it's just very me. Like, that one's probably, these two are probably the most personal, other than obviously my leg with my family on it. And then obviously after that I got my hands done. Again, paid for. This was a different artist at the same tattoo place. This was Gareth. He, actually no, that's a lie. I got my chest piece done, and then I went and got my corpse bride to cover up some self-harm scars that I've done in a video. I don't know which order I'm going to upload these, so it might be my last video or it might be my next video that talks about that. But yeah, I was desperate to get that covered over. So Gareth, bless him, he's really good. He did those for me. He kind of represented my favourite holiday, which is obviously Halloween. So we had a pumpkin king, pumpkin at the bottom there, and then corpse bride on top, because I love that film. I love that film to a degree. I love her as a character. I'm just sad that she didn't end up with the guy and he ended up with that annoying Victoria. She just annoyed me. I was like, okay, didn't really like the ending of that, but she's a cool character. A lot of people say she looks like me. Even now, when I've got a tattoo on me, they're like, oh, why'd you get a self-portrait? I'm like, that's so funny, because we've both got big eyes, whatever. So yeah, Gareth did those, and then Gareth did my hands. That was the next one that I got done. I've always wanted to get a Frankenstein and Frankenstein's bride, well, Frankenstein's monster, sorry, and Frankenstein's bride tattoo. I considered getting them on my forearms, and then in his book of artwork, I think I saw that someone else had got, I think it was just the Frankenstein on the hand. I think it was a guy. I'm pretty sure it was a dude. And I was like, yeah, I want that. And yeah, and he was like, oh, I'll do, I originally just booked in to get Frankenstein, because it is expensive, like, but he's well worth it. He's a really good artist. I'll probably put his Instagram actually link, because if you're ever in that area, he's a really good artist to go to. But yeah, I originally booked in just to get my Frankenstein monster, and he was like, we've got small hands, like, I'll do both for the same price. And I was like, yes. and he's a very fast worker as well. So he literally got Frankenstein done in like 2 hours with a break, and then Bride took a little bit longer, but I think she hurt more because my body was already reacting to Frankenstein, like this side. So yeah, this one ballooned quickly, so it took him a little bit longer, and it was a lot more painful because, like I say, I was already reacting to this one, because obviously your body goes into like what they call tattoo flu, which is what you get like for the rest of the day and the next day, which is where you just feel really run down, and it's because your body is like fixing itself. And I'd already gone into that when he started this one, but again, it didn't take him very long at all. So yeah, I was really happy with those. Obviously, they're amazing. I just love them so much. And they can be sad and make them kiss whenever I want. Yeah, and another thing. Another thing that I forgot to mention is my little finger ones that I did. I did those. That's the point. Let's go into ones that I did myself, because I can't remember when I did them. I did my fingers. I wanted to try out the finger poke. Like hand poking tattoos, and obviously I still have my kit from when I used to do tattooing, and I'd never tried it, so I was like, I just got them out one day, I was a bit bored. I did use a proper tattoo needle. I think it was a 3mm, must have been, because I think that was the smallest one that I had, was a 3mm. No, most of you probably won't understand what that means, but yeah, I had a 3mm needle and obviously the tattoo ink, and I did the outline of the heart first, because I've always wanted just like a little cute finger tattoo, and I really liked it. And then I was like, I wonder if I could fill it in with the same technique. So I actually did, and then my mum loved it and was like, oh, I want one too, because obviously I've tattooed her before when I was an apprentice, and when I was a trained tattooist and everything else, but she'd always wondered what it would be like, and it's actually really not, in my opinion, it's not painful. Even though it's obviously slow and whatever, and it does take a while, for some reason it doesn't hurt as much. I don't know why, because it should hurt more surely, but it didn't hurt. She wanted one, so we've actually got matching ones. And then yeah, obviously again, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds. I got my heart and I got my diamond. Yeah, so I actually need to fix this one because it healed a bit funny. One of the bits kind of fell out, so I need to kind of go over it, but I just haven't bothered. I do want to get more finger tattoos. I want to get a lot more tattoos, but I definitely want to get more finger tattoos. I was considering getting a script of some kind, but I'm probably not going to. I'll probably just get loads of cute little symbols, because I don't know, I just want to keep it cutesy. I don't know. Another one that I did myself when I was training was obviously my heart on my leg. It's not great, because like I say, I was still training, so it's not great. But it is really hard to tattoo yourself. I don't know if you've ever tried it. I don't recommend it, but it is really difficult, because obviously you can't manoeuvre yourself to get round. So obviously when you've got a person, or if you're an artist and you've got a canvas, obviously you can move the canvas, you can move yourself to get to the angles that you need to do. But when it's on you and it's at the top of your leg, you are literally like this, and you're trying to get to the other side of your leg without being able to, you know, it'd be a lot easier if you could put your leg like here or something, but you can't. And you can't manoeuvre yourself very well. It's difficult to tattoo yourself anyway, because obviously you're bracing for that pain. It's difficult to put yourself through pain. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so that's another one that I did. That's all the ones that I've done on myself. And the only other tattoo that I've got is, obviously, I got my eyebrows done. I do want to get face tattoos. Like, since I was 14, I have been drawing on, like, where these are, because I had like a dermal here as well, and I was going to get a little tattoo above it, but it rejected, so I didn't bother. But I'm still going to get, I think I'm still going to get like my heart and diamond on my eyes as well, because I draw them on, I've literally been drawing them on since I was 14. And to be honest, most people are like, oh, you look different, and it's because I haven't drawn them on. That's how much people are used to me having them. So I almost feel weird when I haven't got anything there. So I really do think I'm going to get it, even though a lot of people frown against like face tattoos. They don't actually hurt. like obviously when I got my eyebrows done they numb them. I've had them done twice with shading, once with microblading, but I didn't get on with the microblading. I actually hated it, so I didn't get it redone. It didn't last very long on me either because I heal really quickly, which is kind of a good thing. But yeah, because my hair is actually quite light. I literally from a young age, as you saw in some of my old photos, I looked like I didn't have eyebrows because they're so light. So I was desperate to get them done. Like I said, they didn't hurt. Face tattoos don't hurt either. So I don't know. I really want to get them. And if I don't want them on that day, I can just cover them over with makeup. Like, that's been proven. As most people know, like, Jeffree Star covers up some, like, well, he's got a vanity, I think it is, on the side of his face. He can cover that up quite easily. He doesn't always, because he obviously likes his face tattoo. And, yeah, I just think they're cool. Like, I wouldn't go overboard with it, but I do really want them. So I'm probably going to get those. I also want to get a couple of really small, cute neck ones as well. So I have quite a few planned. But yeah, that's all the tattoos that I've got. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing any. I don't think I am. Oh, I am missing one. Oh no. When I was training as a tattooist, me and my friend, who I'm still friends with now, Danny, he wanted to get a tattoo as a joke. He was going to get Princess, I think, written in pink. And he was like, oh, I'm going to get it on my stomach, it'd be funny. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, you get it then. And I was like, well, if I get it, I want to get it on the back of my neck. And I actually have, I can't believe I forgot about it. I actually have Disney Princess written on the back of my neck. No one ever sees it because I never have my hair up because I have a Care Bear head. Like, my head is a really weird shape, so I hate having my hair up. I very rarely have my hair up. So I forget it's there. And the couple of times that I do, like, have my hair up, people are always like, do you have a tattoo on the back of your neck? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do. So that's why I forgot about it. But yeah, I also have that too. I think it's only in purple, so it's probably faded quite a lot. Obviously I can't see it, so I have no idea. But if I can, I'll try and get like a photo to insert of what it looks like now, but I'm sure it's very faded. But yeah, that was fun. That was a dare. Again, free, so why not? So yeah, that's all my tattoos. I have remembered them all now, I'm sure I have. I will do another video about piercing, because obviously training as a piercer was quite interesting. I have some interesting stories about that. I have some interesting stories about tattoos that I've seen and done. If anyone wants to see that, then let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's my tattoo journey so far. It's by no means finished. Obviously I'm planning on getting quite a few more. They are addictive. So yeah, I just need to save up a bit more money, to be fair. But yeah, that's it for now. If you like this video, give it a thumb. Don't forget to subscribe. I know a lot of you are still watching and not subscribing, which to be honest is kind of, I took a little break and it is a little bit off-putting when people, like, you can see that it's getting a lot of like watches but people aren't subscribing, because it makes you think, well, why am I bothering? So if you want to subscribe, do subscribe. Yeah, and I will link everything down below like I normally do, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will probably be about my piercings. I don't know yet. I haven't decided because there's been a lot of flops with that, so so yeah, more flops than some of my bad tattoos and bad choices. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.